Hello, everybody. Welcome to Walking My Wheels, the podcast that talks about anything and has absolutely no structure. Just me rolling through life with some awesome friends. To my right, I got the man, the myth, the beard. What's up, Grizz? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, man?
Not much, not much. And to my left, I got a man that used to own a pair of Crocs. What's up, Matt? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic, Interwebs. How's everybody doing today? I'm just kidding. I know he hates that.
I know, right? Doing great, man. Doing great. So, listen, guys. I work for a pretty badass company. I'm not going to say names and throw them all out there and everything like that. But every year they do this Olympics thing, and the winners of the Olympics gets to go to New York. A little trip, and they get to see they get to see the Connecticut office and everything like that. But it's straight up, they cover the whole thing. So they have teams of anywhere from like 10 to 15 people and all that. Well, hence the crippledness. I really can't compete in these Olympic games. Like the ski walk and all that. Not necessary for me.
Kickball would be good, right?
Yeah,
you are phenomenal at kickball.
Exactly. So. So I've been actually reffing this for the last 4 years. This is my 4th year. And every year I've kind of hinted, it'll be great. Y'all might need a ref up there in New York, right? Ba-ba. So this year they're actually getting me a ticket. I actually have the ticket and allowing me to go up and go see New York and experience all that stuff. And I am absolutely psyched, man.
I know you're psyched, but I'm going to interject right here because these Olympics that we're all involved in.
Yes.
I apparently
Grizz
work with
is
Derek.
Involved. Grizz is involved. Matt no longer works there, but Grizz is involved.
Yeah.
I know what's going on.
So I'm on one of the teams that apparently got beat. So I get to watch all these other people talk and converse and be like, oh, we're going to go to New York. Ah.
I don't know how to tell you this, but sometimes in life there isn't a participation trophy.
Yes.
That's a whole nother podcast right
It is
there,
a whole
man.
other podcast set up for the future.
Exactly.
No, but
I know.
Today, Junior.
I can't even talk. It's Friday. Congratulations, though, man, because
Thank you.
From the previous winners, that's a pretty badass trip.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. They do a dinner cruise on a boat that goes around the Statue of Liberty. I've never seen the Statue of Liberty. I've been to New York several times. It's just
big.
I'm really, really psyched to be a part of that. So, and my boss is just like, you've earned it. You've been working your tail off, and we just appreciate everything you do. So we're able to make it work for you this year. So I'm all like pumped and thinking about what I'm going to wear and what I'm going to bring and what music I'm going to load onto my iPhone or what movies I'm going to load onto my iPad. But I was thinking, like, what did people do back in the day when they're like, I'm going to go to California, it's the gold rush, and they couldn't listen to music? It's not like you can throw a record player on a train and it'd be skipping the whole time when they're trying to listen to like some Beethoven or something like that.
If it was on a floating table, like on some springs, then that probably could work.
They were a little classier, didn't they? Had small bands.
They oh, like
and they took trains.
Like the Titanic?
Absolutely.
It's my honor to play with you guys tonight.
Absolutely.
It's a privilege.
I know.
It's an honor to podcast with you guys tonight. Wasn't that funny? Wow.
I'm just thinking about the podcast just going down. I mean,
it probably will.
I know.
So what was it, like 100 listeners last week? Well, it'll probably be about 50 of you this week. And
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
No, but
Thank you all 50 of you.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, seriously, thank you to all you listeners out there. I mean, we had, seriously.
clap. That is awesome.
We truly appreciate it. We had over 100 downloads last week. So, I mean, you guys really listened to us, and we had a nice positive response. So we truly appreciate your support. Please continue to like our stuff and follow us on Facebook and all that. And
Don't be
touch
afraid
on
to
that
interact on Facebook and Instagram.
Yep, have fun. Have fun. I mean, we like to.
We
have a
are
good time.
ready to mingle.
Yeah, exactly. This is all just a great time. So we really appreciate all of the support that we've gotten, even like texts or likes. But yeah, don't be afraid to write stuff on our page, and don't be afraid to,
Even you can email us too if you have anything crazy you need to tell us or.
Yep, and all that stuff, you can find all that stuff. We'll have it at the end of the podcast. Just listen, and we'll have that information.
That's right.
So basically what we're going to talk about today is how music has changed over the years and how people listen to them. So I'm going to
More like the ways consumer grade listening, because I mean at one point you had to go actively, and see somebody. It was the only way to listen, or
like
play
orchestras.
yourself, like families, people sitting around a piano. That was actually a thing,
It's a huge thing, yeah.
But yeah, it kind of all started kind of with the record. I mean, it's kind of still is one of the main formats out there, but it started with the phonograph. It was a needle ran by, just by rotation, and it would go straight into the cone.
Wasn't it like a cylinder or something that you first started with?
Well, it wasn't really very consumer grade. It existed, but it wasn't like widely adopted. You wouldn't find many people have. But there were cylinders that were like basically recording with aluminum foil, like tin foil, and they would wear out really fast. And then they switched over.
Good. That's done. Let's make some chicken.
Then they switched over to paraffin, which is wax, which is great for because you could record and then wipe it out. But then you play it and it wipes it out while you're playing it slowly.
And it's good for your hands, too.
It's the crazy thing is recorded music's only been around for like 130 years. It's like 1887 was like the first recorded sound.
Yeah, it was Mary Had a Little Lamb, actually.
Really?
Yeah. That was the first recording ever.
Yeah, 1887, so we're at 129 years.
I heard that shit rock, too.
Yo, totally. It's like closing down the forum.
Heck yeah.
But,
Mary threw
and
the
then
horns
everything,
up.
like, it's crazy how, the platforms, the record lasted for decades. And then it just technology is
more
just
of
sped
what
up
changed
so much.
was like the recording technology, because they used to have to basically like record into like a giant's, like, think of like a phonograph in reverse, and it would record it right directly to the stylus. But the problem with that is that because of the recording medium and it would wear out so often, they would basically book bands to do like marathon sessions, like play the same song over and over for 8 hours. That's how they used to mass produce.
Could you imagine your fingers playing a guitar for 8 hours?
Their hands had to be made out of rocks by the time they were done from the calluses and everything.
So that reminds me of a quick story. And I know you're listening to this. I'm not going to say your name, buddy. But I remember my friend, his girlfriend broke up with him. I don't mean to laugh. But his girlfriend broke up with him.
Did.
But
you
totally.
did.
He had this song. Him and his girlfriend's song was that Bryan Adams song from
Not the,
Robin Hood.
Not the Everything I Do, I Do It
Yeah.
For You.
Dude, he had it recorded over and over and over,
Do
and
it
just
for you.
would press play, and it would just listen to the whole side of it. It would just be over and over, and then flip it, and then listen to it over and over again. So
it's not worth fighting for.
no, it wasn't. I didn't even argue with him about it. So I love you, man. I appreciate your support, but I had to throw that story out there for you.
Yeah. It was like, like these marathon like recording sessions. But what actually kind of changed, and my favorite thing that happened to music was that the record player didn't changed because basically radio got big. And like basically because, you have a radio, everybody was using like vacuum tubes to kind of like amplify, had like, the cruder circuits. That was the standard before the transistor. And they started putting that directly into the record players. And they started amplifying them. So now you're driving a speaker. Now you've got a stereo system going. Because before that, it was just the horn. It was just, the phonograph itself.
It was just
Now
like
we
super
can
tinny sound.
Yeah, now we can get loud.
Turn it up to 11.
Exactly. I mean, records, pretty much are pretty unchanged all these years. We're still listening to them. I think, it was the recording, because it went from recording directly to record.
Yep.
And then, they developed tape recording, magnetic recording. And, that's the gold standard in audio as far as I'm concerned. Nothing sounds as good as an album analog. All the best albums were kind of recorded analog, like back in the day. So, like the golden age of music.
Dude, I have a 1984 Magnavox console stereo at my house. You guys have seen this thing.
Yeah. That thing's awesome.
The old tube speakers. It's got a record player and a cassette.
It's got that deep bass to it.
Yeah, it
is.
Yeah,
Those
they
old school speakers were like that. They just had that depth in the sound.
They use different magnets than they use now, because now they use like ceramic magnets, and like Alnico, it's like they use like an older form of an Alnico that's like heavier. It's just warmer.
Yeah.
So it's like why all the guitar amps from back then. By the way, I play guitar. So yeah, like all the guitar amps back then. Like it's like you can't beat that.
You heard him at the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, we need to properly record that louder.
laying down the tracks.
but
Louder.
louder or better sound quality is what I'm getting at. But but it was like, it's all from the recording, and it's like, we got that point where amplifying, now we got speakers, and then they developed reel to reel, and reel to reel was, it's magnetic tape. I mean, 8-track, cassettes.
I still love cassettes. They're just something that's so nostalgic about cassettes to me.
Can't stand them.
Can't stand them?
Really?
No. I remember just sitting there with a damn pencil, and then your tape player eats it, and then you pop it out, and then you got to string it out, make sure nothing folded on the tape, and then stuff the pencil in there and spin it. All you young birds out there have no idea what I'm talking about.
Not at all.
No,
not at all.
Cassette listeners living hell. So you'd have to roll it back up and.
Hey, what about if you wanted to listen to, like, get your favorite song? You'd have to remember calling up the radio station, having the cassette where you actually have to recording
songs off the radio.
What you requested.
The original mixtape.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember we had I would do that all the time, and we also had it was a dual deck cassette deck, it was a stereo cassette deck.
Yep.
And I lived for high speed dubbing.
Yes.
When I was younger, we used to, the radio station on Sundays had Psychedelic Sunday. It was all old. My father always said his favorite type of music was music from the late 60s and early 70s, heavily influenced by LSD, which is
amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing music. Yeah, like your Black Sabbath.
20-minute drum solo.
all the psychedelic stuff. So Psychedelic Sunday would play. We always had it, the record thing. And he'd be like, "Yes, get this one," and we'd run over and hit the pause button so it unpaused, and we'd record the song, and then, So all the tapes that we used to listen to on long drives and stuff like that was all recorded off of Psychedelic Sunday.
Right, but I mean, you had 8-track and things in cars, but let's face it, the Walkman. Walkman is when we went mobile.
Music went mobile.
Life changed for the awesome.
I actually remember we had a CD player, but I didn't have a Discman at the time. I think they were still kind of expensive, and you had to keep them standing one place because otherwise they'd skip.
God, couldn't stand that.
Yeah, exactly. So I actually remember I was going away to camp for a summer, and I was like, would you want it on CD or tape? I'm like, tape. It's not going to skip.
Way better. Yeah.
So, and then before everything charged, you had batteries, so you playing your cassettes on your Walkman. And then they start slowing down.
Yep.
But then you'd be like, wait a minute, I can turn the radio on because the radio only had a little bit of juice. So you could still have some music without having to play your cassettes.
And those old school ones use like 5, 6 AA batteries, just gigantic.
Yeah, they were huge.
Yeah,
they were 3 inches thick.
Man, that was the greatest though. I mean,
yeah, Walkman's really changed the game. It you could be outside and just have a pair of headphones on and just be chilling and listening to music.
I mean, by the time Walkman was popular, I mean CDs already existed. That was kind of the next progression.
Not necessarily, man. CDs weren't, because I remember when I was in, I want to say 6th grade, my sister had one of those original ones with the orange headphones. She had a Walkman. She had Footloose, the Footloose cassette. The Footloose soundtrack.
I have the album at my house.
Dude, I love that movie. I don't care what anybody says.
Dude, the album is great.
Yeah, man. Kick off your Sunday shoes, bro. Definitely.
That happened.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
So we, I remember listening to that, but that was when I was 6th grade, and CDs really didn't get popular until I was
they existed.
Until I was
the CD boom was from Columbia House and BMG.
Well, that was in the 90s, but I mean, they were around in the 80s.
They were around, but they were hard to get. They were expensive.
Yeah,
way more expensive.
It was $1,000 CD player.
Than a cassette. So
$1,000 then.
So yeah, when BMG and Columbia House, where you could get 16 CDs for $2 and nobody ever paid.
I still owe them $3,000 or something like that. I know it. I heard BMG vinyl might be coming out.
Oh, they're screwed.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now we're older, and they're actually going to make us pay.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, because they'll have our credit card information, and they'll run it anyway.
They'll do it up front, yeah, definitely. So 8-track. Went from 8-track. I remember my father used to have Woodstock and 8-track. Remember that? Then they went to cassette, and then CDs got No, you don't.
No, sorry, dude.
I had a Boston 8-track, and I had an REO Speedwagon 8-track.
He was like, I would have listened to it, but I was out buying some Crocs.
Totally. No, I probably wasn't born. I'm the younger one here. Sorry.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Yeah, I think my first album was like Nevermind or something. No, it was Metallica and Justice for All on cassette. It was the first
Nice.
personal purchase. Yeah.
Did you have one bought for you though?
Well, I was like in 3rd or 4th grade, so yeah. But that was like the first thing I wanted.
Your parents are so metal. 3rd or 4th
Oh, they
grader
hated it.
buying it.
But they still got it for you. So
Metallica
that's cool.
album.
They get it.
All right.
Yeah.
Metallica that young. Man, I wish I was introduced to that music that young.
That was like my own personal. It was like me and my brother. We liked it. We liked it loud. So
Reminds me of that Kiss song.
Yeah, I was just
like it.
we love it. I was just singing that in my head today, actually. So,
wow.
What was your first? What was your first cassette?
Man, probably Garth Brooks' "Rope in the Wind."
I don't find that surprising.
He has
grew up
Brooks
listening
stuff,
to country music. I mean,
yeah.
I love it all. I mean, Metallica, love it, but yeah. Grew up,
Have you realized that Metallica is our go-to? Like, that's metal for us.
check out their
Yeah,
new
we-
album.
It's not really
Sounds-
metal for me.
No, but no. I mean, our taste in music goes way deeper than Metallica, but we
Yes,
still always
please
refer to
understand.
Metallica as, because everybody.
well,
go,
at the time, that was what I had.
yeah.
That was what was on
Yeah.
MTV.
My first cassette I owned was Pink Floyd, The Wall, and then with my own money, got
Was that
Van
a 2
Halen.
cassette?
and then got Van Halen 1984.
There's nothing quite as rock and roll as a double album on cassette.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I know, and I would listen to it in order too. I wouldn't try and find a song. That's one thing with me is when I put something on, I need a whole album. I can't just go, hey, let me listen to this song. I need something that's good from beginning to end.
Yes.
Period.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
Yeah, I buy albums. I don't buy songs, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to buy an album if it's only one good song.
Yeah, if there's only one good song, it's gone for
Yeah.
me.
That's what I've been downloading. I have Apple Music. I think all of us have iPhones. Sorry.
Plug.
Yeah, Samsung people or LG people or whatever. Sorry for you guys. But
That's fine. Oh, Spotify.
yeah, your Spotify, but Apple Music, you have the choice to download the whole album, and all I have downloaded is albums.
Yeah.
Just because when I want to listen to something,
Yeah, I
need-
roll
need-
through the whole thing.
I need them to tell me their story. That's what I love about albums, because everything kind of from start to end, it just
Well, there's a
you
huge
a
decision-making process in what order the songs are on the album. I remember when I used to make mixtapes, and I would write all the songs that I want to put on it, and then I would order them.
Oh,
Go,
yeah.
okay, this sounds good here. This would be good here. Let's go with a slower song. Now let me punch you in the face with this next song. All that stuff to
Why
kind of
is track 3 always the best one, though? Have you ever noticed that on CDs? Where, like, albums, like, track 3 seems to be one of the best ones on the album consistently.
yeah.
It's like, that's where it builds up, and then they drop it down. But that's where it built up.
And then typically there's always a kick-ass song on like the very last
Yeah.
one that
like the
never
last
gets
couple.
that never
Yeah.
gets released to radio.
Yeah.
But it's just so
Exactly.
so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like that, so we went from cassettes and then, CDs, obviously. Finally, they figured out how to make them. Well, I think I had like a 30-second skip proof, and I was like, what?
I know.
With the bass boost, I was like,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, click. Yes.
Okay, now it sounds better.
Now it sounds like this.
And then MP3, where we are today. We're streaming now, but
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more streaming than anything. I did the MP3 for a while and had, my MP3 player, my iPod. I won that. I never would buy one on my own because I was just like, these are ridiculously expensive.
what, the
And
MP3 players?
Yeah, and I'm not going to walk around with a Zune because that's just not cool. So
I used to have Creative Labs, like Zen. Like I had Nomad, which was like one of the ones where you can only put like probably about like 2 CDs, like 2 albums worth.
So you were the one that bought that.
Oh, totally. Yeah. That thing was built like a brick shit house, man. Like seriously, that thing got thrown around. That thing was beast.
I had one
Yeah.
the size of a beeper that only held about 150 songs.
Yeah.
but it was pretty great.
Yeah, it changed the way I listened to music when I got the iPod. It was like,
It made it
I'm gonna
easier to
bring this
listen to tracks at the same time. And also when everybody was downloading, I mean, let's face it, everybody was downloading everything from Napster or
LimeWire.
LimeWire, and everybody was downloading
killer of
one
computers.
Yeah, killer computers. You don't remember giving your computer AIDS just to download free music, but you download track by track.
Yes.
You can download the whole entire album. So
mind you, on dial-up.
I had cable.
Did you?
I was fancy.
Of course you did.
I did.
Fancy New Yorker.
I know, right?
It was available.
Yeah, no.
We had it.
I'd dial up forever. So, tangent.
Totally. That happens.
From time to time with us.
What are you talking about?
I have no idea.
Sounds about right.
What do you listen to now mostly? Is it like streaming or like you said you download them on
Apple Music.
Yeah,
so it's streaming. I don't.
Do you
You can-
download it right to your phone or you just
No,
press play?
it's on the cloud, so you can download the entire library of the
Okay.
album, and it just streams it.
Can you just stream it directly or do you have to download it to listen to it?
You just stream it directly, or you have the option to do a hard download on your phone.
That way, if you're, like on a
Offline.
plane,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
still have your music
you
available.
still have your music.
Well, yeah, I get that.
What I do is I'm still one of those weird people that buy CDs. I'm about to stop just because I'm about to go all vinyl, for the actual like hard form.
Yes.
Because if it's worth buying, like I'm gonna listen to it all the way through, and I don't skip tracks. So why not? Let's go a little bit warmer. I have a kick-ass stereo system. Like it'll be,
Do you have a record player yet?
No, I'm actually. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right the first time. I have my eyes on something a little obnoxiously expensive, but
Yeah, but
You buy something obnoxiously expensive?
No, what?
Never.
Well, if I'm gonna
No.
buy something, I don't like. Well, I don't like buying things like every couple of years. Again, I want to. The speakers that I have in my living room, I literally bought when I was 13, and they still sound awesome.
Yeah.
So like the guitar cable that like I was plugged in here the other day, like
Yep.
when we did the music, I bought that when I was 17. It's like fancy gold-plated craziness, and it still works perfectly. No loss in signal.
Yep.
So I'll rather pay more once and not have to, because record players, it's the same technology
Yeah.
that's been around forever. It's a standard. So I'm going to go with something that's going to sound good.
Yeah. I mean, I went with a $100 one because I wasn't sure how much I would get into vinyl as a hobby again.
How's that working out for you?
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
And it sounds really well, or it sounds really good. And within a year and a half, I've gotten like 30 to 40 albums.
Yeah, but I showed you
And
that
I'm
crazy
actually
one.
not buying albums right now because I'm out of space. So-
Right.
But I love listening to vinyl. I love it. I think it sounds
It's
warm.
warmer.
Yeah, it's a comfortable. You settle into it, you know.
Hip hop, that Public Enemy album that I got from you
So
sounds awesome.
for the listeners out there, Grizz had never listened to Public Enemy's "Fear of a Black Planet," which is one of my favorite. It is my favorite rap album of all time. So I brought it to his house.
It is legit.
It's straight up. It's just nonstop. Every song is good, one after another, one after another. So you dug it or what?
It was great.
So it's ironic that we've gone from vinyl to 8-track to cassette to CD to MP3, and MP3 mainly now is for like when we're away from home. But when we're at home, now it's back to vinyl. We all like that
Yeah.
vinyl.
Music's the one thing that, one of the things that connects us to everybody else on a spiritual level almost.
I'll plug it again. I plugged this last week. Is our friend's Facebook page, Artist You Should Know. It's on Facebook. Go look it up. Like the page. It's all people putting music up there that you probably wouldn't hear normally, and it's just really good stuff. Just talent. Just good music.
It's crazy. Like even thinking like when I was a kid, because literally all I had was like stereo at home when my parents let me actually listen to music, and then now it's like I can be anywhere and listen to anything at any time.
Do you remember your first vinyl?
My first vinyl, what's funny is my first vinyl I got unexpected, and it was given to me.
Barney and his friends.
No, actually, what year was it? It was probably like
Was
2000.
it a purple disc?
No, it was. I was probably like in like 2003 or so. Me and a couple of friends went to remember that band Slipknot? Still around?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they were throwing a free like Halloween party in the city, like at like the upstairs, like at Hammerstein, like a private party. So you had to get in. It was first come, first serve. They'd close the doors once they hit like capacity. And Roadrunner had like a huge like bag of swag on the way out, and I got Iowa on vinyl.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know that they had it on vinyl.
I know. I had it on CD a long time ago.
It was epic, like the artwork that was in there, because it's something to look at when you got a record. It's not like a little thin book.
Well,
that
that's the
has
best
2
part about
pages.
listening to a record is you sit back and you play it, you look at it, you open it up, read the liner notes.
That smell.
Yes.
Ooh, that smell.
Exactly. So, do you know your first vinyl, or is it like recent? Because I know that.
No, I remember my mom had a bunch of vinyl, and the thing about it is, you're gonna cringe when I say this because I
can't wait.
cringe about it just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She had everything just stacked, laying it flat in cabinets.
Sweet.
With no paper between them or anything. It was just stacks of 45s.
Oh my God! All the muscles in my back just tightened up. I need a massage.
Band on the Run was probably one of the first vinyl records I ever played. It was
nice.
the Paul McCartney song. And then
Wings. Isn't that Wings?
Grand Funk Railroad, We're an American Band, was another one. And then countless Elvis 45s, just singles. Just
wow.
It's amazing.
My parents had a lot, but you know what's kind of funny? Just kind of like going off topic, just remembering like from vinyl, like I remember when we transitioned to CD, literally what happened was Michael Jackson's Dangerous came out, and my mom went to try and go buy it like at the store, like at Sam Goody, and
Sam Goody.
Wow.
Yeah. Remember Sam Goody? She went to try and buy it at Sam Goody, and the girl there was like, "A record? What?"
Yeah.
And it was like, "Oh." So she bought the CD. Then, I think, the next day, she went out and bought a CD player. And, yeah, that's how that happened. It was pretty hilarious.
Wow.
It's like she didn't even know.
She just
they don't even make those anymore. What? We just edited out a really bad joke.
Oh, God.
Right on the nose.
Yeah,
man.
totally.
Totally.
That was great.
That was perfect. It's a good segue. We'll just, cut out, the last, 15 minutes of that. Just,
Yeah, absolutely.
No. But here we are, just rambling on.
Yeah. My first album was Sgt. Pepper's by the Beatles. And then my second album was Foreigner with the number 4 on it. Jukebox Heroes on it.
They had a lot of good songs. People probably don't remember.
It's one of those bands that, today you're like, I don't want to admit.
Well, Foreigner was kind of like one of those, REO Speedwagon, Fleetwood Mac, kind of
Jefferson Starship. You go to one of their shows and you're like, oh yeah, I know every single one of these
Jefferson
songs.
Airplane.
Well, yeah. I like Jefferson Airplane. Jefferson Starship just makes me want to commit Harry Carey.
Are we going to talk about the song? Are we going to bring it up? Are we bringing up
No.
the song? Come on, man. You know you built this city on rock and roll. We love it. Woo! Built this city on rock and roll. I
built this city.
I quit. It's done. Bye. Bernstein out.
He's done, folks. So it's now me and Chris.
We're probably a whole lot funnier than other people think we are.
We think we're funnier than people think we are.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like, what is going on right now? I told you. Well, we did say that, there's absolutely no structure.
We did have a topic. We stuck to that a little bit better than normal.
Yeah.
There was a topic?
Think about this week. Let's just go back to this week.
Why?
Okay. Because this week has been full of ups and downs.
It's been a long week, man.
It has. I've gotten a haircut.
I think your haircut
Cut
looks
the
great.
luscious locks.
It needed to go. I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Wife likes it. Matt was giving me the hairy eyeball on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Croc man himself.
Rockman himself. Whatever.
What color were your Crocs?
Yeah, what color were your Crocs?
They were that disgusting green, that dark green.
Oh, like I want to
that
be
olive drab, disgusting green.
The
So
army.
glad that you didn't say white.
I've seen those before, and I was like, who is the asshole who thought this was a good idea? It's really bad.
Like you try them on and they're already dirty.
You know what's the funniest thing? And I always thought it would be hilarious.
That you wore Crocs?
That was literally, I was just like, you know what? These are my F-it shoes.
How long did you wear them?
Yeah. How long did you own them?
I don't know, probably like 6 months. I had them.
Lies. At least 2 years.
Nah. Like they wore out. And I remember getting really pissed off, and I thought
I
it would
mean,
be
you
really
wore
funny.
them enough to wear them out.
Nah, they wore out pretty quick. But this guy, listen. I can't even handle you right now. Look at the color that you are.
Over here laughing like Butley. God, you...
Woo!
You know what would be a great game is like, have you ever worn a pair of Crocs?
Yes,
No.
I have worn a pair of Crocs.
You guys disappoint me so much. I need 2 new co-hosts. I'm sorry.
Look at the fuck you're wearing.
Oh!
What are those?
Very comfortable black shoes that are not Crocs.
They look like they were made by Crocs.
No.
Actually, I think they have a style exactly like that.
Don't try and recover from this, buddy.
I'm not trying to
You-
recover
you-
from it.
you
I'm
had-
admitting I
you
own
had
a
a
pair
pair-
of Crocs.
that-
They
Are
did.
you crying?
I think he is.
Oh, man. My eyes are watering like a beast right now.
He's crying.
Why? Because you came to the conclusion that you're also wearing Crocs?
No, I'm sad that I missed my opportunity to wear a pair of Crocs. And then back
I'm
in the
gonna
days.
make
no,
this
hold
happen
on.
for you.
What size shoe do you wear?
Yeah.
Well, no, I just want to be able to walk
No.
in them. I wanted to
What
be able to
size-
walk in them. That's all I
Oh.
wanted to do.
They
And
are.
now I'm in the chair, and I'll never be able to walk in a pair of Crocs.
Oh, is that what did it for you?
That's what brought it down. I don't know what to do, guys.
I'm sure they make wheel replacements for your scooter.
Just
you can get that.
Croc tires.
Oh! We need to make this happen. Seriously.
no,
Just
we
get
don't.
me some.
What
get
shoe
me some
size do you wear,
replacement.
Derek?
Just get like silver marker and write Crocs on my tires.
What shoe size do you wear?
No, you have to carve it out. I'm making this happen.
Actually, for our picture for the podcast, Matt's going to need to be wearing a pair of
Oh,
Crocs.
absolutely.
Absolutely not. It's never going to happen.
I think it already has. I mean, it's just
It's happened in
reliving
the past. I don't think there's any photo evidence of it that I know of, and it's
Yeah.
never going to happen again.
You're lucky.
Absolutely.
Just get a pair of Sanooks. Things rock.
Feel free to elaborate on that. What are you talking about? What's a Sanook?
It's a shoe.
Like what kind of shoe? Are you wearing them right now?
I am wearing them right now. I'm rocking them. I will take a picture of these and post them on the interwebs for everybody. But they're brown.
Yeah, they're pretty tight
Sanooks.
shoes. I like them.
They have yoga mats for the sole.
So only your feet are doing yoga right now.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
Your
Yeah.
feet are so in tune with the world.
They are.
That's
They
great.
are.
Rest of your body's like, hell no.
Yeah.
What's the pose where you're basically just laying on your back and they gave a name for it?
Missionary.
The
You can't.
we
recover
just
from
deleted
that
a
one.
really bad joke.
All right, man. Well, I want to say thank you, everybody, for listening again. Anybody have anything else they want to say before we go? I know. Hashtag be love. Always be good to people.
Yeah, especially in this. It's been a crazy couple weeks since last time we recorded. So
It's always a crazy couple weeks since the last time we recorded. It's pretty
Yeah.
sad.
yeah, hashtag be love.
Hashtag be love.
Random act of kindness. There we go. We need some positivity.
Yeah, just go be nice to people, man.
Pick up a good record. Share it with the world.
All right, well, everybody, I want to thank you for listening again. And always remember, even a speed bump could be a jump.
Thank you for supporting Walking in My Wheels. You can listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. If you have something to say, email us at walkinginmywheels@gmail.com. Keep being awesome people and hashtag be love.